Welcome students. This is the third part of the explanation of the chapter The Portrait of a Lady by Kushwan. Before I start my explanation, I want all of you all to open page number 4 and go to paragraph 5. So in this explanation, in this video, I will be doing paragraph 5, 6 and 7. So if you read these three paragraphs, you will see that this three paragraphs centers around one single point, and I have already highlighted this point here. Now see, when you will read, you will find in these three paragraphs, which actually revolves around one particular idea or one particular issue, that is the turning point in their relationship. In their relationship means the relationship between the author and the grandmother, and slowly we will see how the separation between them actually grows. So this three paragraph basically centers around this particular idea, and when you read it, you will find three important focus questions from these three paragraphs. So first question is, how did the strong bond of friendship snap? Second question, what was the turning point in their friendship? Third question, what were her views on music? So when we will read these three paragraphs, and as I finish explaining these paragraphs, I will discuss these questions after that. Now let us read. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. That was a turning point in our friendship. Although we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me. I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the street, and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of our city house. Now, see, earlier they were in the village, and we already came to know in the earlier paragraph that both the grandmother and Khushwant Singh, both they stayed in the village, and the grandmother used to help Khushwant Singh to get up early, make him ready for his school, and the grandmother also accompanied him. They shared a very strong bonding between them. But what happened here is that Khushwant Singh's parents, they shifted from the village to the city, and when they settled there, they also called for Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. Now when they shifted from the village to the city, there comes a turning point in their friendship. Now that the strong bonding which they shared, which both of them shared when they were in the village, now that sort of a strong bonding was no longer to be seen. Now see, he tells us here that although both of them, the grandmother and Khushwant Singh, they shared the same room, and now, like earlier when his grandmother used to accompany him to his village school, now we can see that when he got shifted to the city, or when he got admitted to a new school, grandmother did not accompany him to his school. And now Kushwant Singh was going to an English school, and he no longer goes by walking. Now he goes to school in a motor car. Now also we can see that earlier grandmother used to feed those stray dogs while going or while coming from school, but now as the grandmother did not accompany Kushwant Singh to his school, we can see that there were no street dogs, and grandmother, as she did not accompany him to the English school, she also cannot feed those stray dogs as there were no street dogs. Now what she did is that she consorted completely herself into that house where they got shifted in the town, and she started feeding the sparrows in the courtyard of their city house. So this is how a change in the relationship came. This is how a turning point in the relationship between Kushwant Singh and his grandmother came when they shifted from the village to the city. Now come to paragraph 6. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me. I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning, the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, the world being round, etc. This made her unhappy. She could not help me with my lessons. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school, and was distressed that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. One day I announced that we were being given music lessons. She was very disturbed. To her, music had lewd associations. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars, and not meant for gentlefolk. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. She rarely talked to me after that. Now see, in the fifth paragraph, we already came to know that Khushwant Singh and his grandmother, they shifted from the village to the city. And as they shifted there, Khushwant Singh was enrolled in an English medium school. So in that English medium school, Khushwant Singh was taught about maths, science, and in those schools, teachings of religion or about God was not given. This made the author's grandmother very sad that he was not given any lessons on religion. Now, sometimes after coming from school, Khushwant Singh used to tell his grandmother about his classes. So one day he told his grandmother that he was given lessons on music. And when she heard about that, she was already disturbed to know that they were not given any lessons on religion or about God. Now when she heard about that he was given music lessons, she became completely disturbed because she never considered music lessons to be given to gentlefolk or people of noble birth. She had some lewd associations, or you can say she had some sort of indecent associations with music. She only thought that music is for the harlots and the beggars and not meant for people who are of noble birth. So she had some lewd associations with music, and she considers it that it is the monopoly of the harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. And when she came to know about these music classes, she got completely disturbed and she remained silent after that, and her silence meant disapproval. And after that, she rarely talked to Khushwant Singh. Now come to paragraph 7. When I went to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirrupings. She came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders, some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day of her. Now see, in this paragraph we will see the growing separation between the grandmother and the author. Now the grandson, or our author Khushwant Singh, he moves to a university, and he is here given a separate room for privacy and independence. So now since he got a separate room for his own privacy and independence, these alienates the grandmother and the author more. And as time goes by, actually the author decides to move abroad for her higher studies. Now the grandmother actually accepted her seclusion with resignation. Now what exactly means accepted her seclusion with resignation is that the grandmother accepted a lonely life, as she accepted the separation from her grandson without objection. Now since she accepted that lonely life away from her grandson, she rarely left her spinning wheel or she talked to anyone. She was busy in that spinning wheel, and she used to recite prayers from morning till sunset. And only the happiest hour was during the evening when she used to feed those sparrows. Now see, earlier also we saw that this grandmother used to feed those village, she used to feed those stray dogs. Now when she is shifted to the city, there she started feeding the sparrows. So what she did is that she used to sit in the veranda. In her veranda, she started breaking the little breads, or she started breaking the breads into little bits and pieces, and she used to throw them for the birds to come and have it. So these hundreds of these little birds, they collected around her, they created a veritable bedlam of chirrupings. Now what exactly veritable bedlam of chirrupings mean is that it refers to the noise and the confusion caused by the chirrupings or the sparrows. Now some of these sparrows who came to eat those little breadcrumbs, some came and perched on her legs, some on her shoulders, and even some sat on her head. So that was the happiest hour of her life, and she smiled, but she never shooed those birds away from her. So it was the happy, you can say that it is the happiest hour of the day for her. Other than that, she never used to talk to anyone, and she only recited her prayers from morning till evening. So these are some important words from 5th, 6th and 7th paragraph. Let's see. Distress, it means suffer from extreme sorrow, anxiety and pain. Lewd association, it means indecent or obscene. Gentlefolk, people of noble birth. Snapped, break suddenly and completely. Seclusion, the state of being away from people. Bedlam, it means confusion. Chirrupings, the noise of a small bird. Perched, rest on something. Should, make a person or animal go away. These are some important questions from the paragraph 5th, 6th and 7th. I'll discuss each of them. Question number 1, what was a turning point in their friendship? So you have to write about when they shifted from the village to the city. So that was the time actually when there was a turning point in their friendship. Question number 2, why did the grandmother not accompany the narrator in the way to school? So when Khushwant Singh was enrolled in an English medium school, he went to school by a motor bus. So that is the reason actually why the grandmother couldn't accompany him. Next, question number 3, what was the opinion of the grandmother regarding the English medium schools of the city? So the grandmother actually never had any high opinions regarding this English medium school. First thing, why? Because these English medium schools never thought about God or scriptures. Second thing, these English medium schools gave lessons on music. So this is what you have to write here. Question number 4, what were her views on music? So you have to write in this question that she never considered music is meant for gentlefolk or meant for people of high born. So she thought, or she had some sort of lewd associations with music, that music is only meant for the harlots or the beggars. So these were her views on music. Question number 5, how did the strong bond of friendship snap? So here you have to write from the beginning, when they started living in the city, when he got enrolled in an English medium school, when she came to know about that these English medium schools never thought about God or scriptures, and when she became too much disturbed when she came to know that these schools gave lessons on music. So this is how actually the strong bond of friendship between them started to snap. Number 6, what was the happiest hour of the day for the grandmother? So here the happiest hour of the day for the grandmother was that half an hour of the evening when she started feeding the sparrows with breadcrumbs. Now number 7, describe the grandmother's feeding the sparrows. So you have to write about everything, how she sat in that veranda for half an hour, how that hour was one of the happiest hours of the day for the grandmother, how she used to give these little breadcrumbs to those sparrows, how some of them came and perched on her shoulders, some sat on her head, some perched on her head, some on her shoulders, and she never shooed them away. So that was the most happiest hour of the day for her, and you have to write in this question how she fed those sparrows. So all these questions are of 2 marks.